how you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going into r/entitled parents, where the parents are, as you might have guessed, extremely entitled. Now I've got my new 3D setup right now, so I think things are going to go very well for storytelling today. Now, if you enjoy it, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below praising our almighty opossum overlord, Steve. We all love the lad. We all really do. Now, let's get started, shall we? For our first story, we have sister-in-law wants to kick off my toddler to feed her baby in my high chair while mine's still eating. I keep a small floor seat with a tray at my in-laws, 1.5 hours away, to feed my kids. I brought it for my son, who's now outgrown it, and my daughter, 18 months, now uses it whenever we visit. Now, my sister-in-law uses it to feed her 11-month-old when she visits her mom every week, which is no problem when we aren't there. However, there's a second floor seat with a tray that's in the basement that her sister recently bought, but she insists on using mine. Even when I was visiting, she just takes it to feed her son. Meanwhile, I'm looking for a place to put my crying daughter, who's hungry to eat and is older, so can't fit in other smaller seats. And sister-in-law just completely ignores the fact that she's coming and using my seat to feed her son, let alone ask or show any care. But it gets worse. The second time I visit, I'm feeding my daughter, and she's still eating, and sister-in-law comes with her son and asks if she's done. I said no, she still has to eat rice, and sister-in-law asks, does she need to eat rice right now? And I'm like, yes, she's having a meal. There is a second seat in the basement. You can just use that. Sister-in-law gets annoyed and entitled and says, I'll just feed him in my arms, okay? Why does she feel entitled to use my seat to the point where she wants to kick off my daughter mid-meal so her son can use the seat, all while there's a perfectly fine seat in the basement for her to use that fits her son? How do I approach this situation each and every time I visit? I love her son and I'm happy to share the seat, but her entitlement is so off-putting. She only cares about her own son's meal and not my kids. I feel petty having to remind her that it's my seat I keep here for my kids, so she should use the other available one that doesn't fit them, or at least ask. We are both expecting more children, so it seems like someone needs to cash out some money to get another seat or two. Someone in the comments says, take it when you leave and bring it back every time you visit. She should get the message. Alright, I just realized the scenery I'm using for this storytelling video is a little dark, so let me just we're changing it. Alrighty, we're back in a better area now, so let's read our next story. Mom asked me to pay for Christmas stay with them. I live across the world, and at my stepdad's invitation, I came to visit my mom and my stepdad. My mom has been giving me a cold shoulder since I arrived. She has been withdrawing from me for the past year. But I was going through a very difficult period of my life, surviving literal war, so I couldn't deal with her. Since it's Christmas time, I decided I will invest in the time and energy to come see my parents. The flight tickets cost $2,000, and the flight itself took 20 plus hours just to get home. Since coming here, my mom has been telling me that I am too much of a taker rather than a giver. She raised me, but yet I have not given her anything. I kept on asking her what she wants, and eventually she said she wants me to pay her for my Christmas stay. She wants to charge me $200 a stay for staying with them. That price is double the price of a hotel. I understand that I'm an adult, and I probably am obligated to pay, yet it hurts a bit to see my mom is so transactional. Maybe now I should realize that she is actually toxic. I have been out of the house since 19 and left my home country for the last 3 years. I have worked part-time jobs since I was 14 and paid for my own university. I think I had this fantasy built in my head that my mom actually loves me. Coming home is definitely shattering this. Someone in the comments says, yes, she is toxic. I am sorry for you. I would leave immediately and spend Christmas on my own terms. You know what I'm saying? Our own terms, and have a nice time. Having a nice, comfy, cozy Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I would love a cozy Christmas. You know what I mean? Just get that. Just get that. I graduated and suddenly I owe my parents rent plus most of my income. I just graduated college and I still have not landed a solid offer yet. So I picked up a job just to stay busy and build a little cushion. But it feels like graduation flipped a switch at home. My parents basically stopped helping overnight and started keeping score. Now they want rent even though I'm living at home. I'm paying for my own food and basics. And on top of that, they expect me to hand over a big chunk of my paycheck. Their line is, they raised me, so I owe them. It makes me feel angry and stuck because I do not make much and I'm trying to move out, but my cash keeps getting pulled away. I'm cutting everything I can. For essentials, I'll try one of those help me lower the price promos on TikTok and chip away at the price with a couple taps just to pay less for stuff I already need, like toothpaste, toilet paper, and laundry detergent. And yeah, I hate admitting this, but sometimes I'll quietly use a little bit of my parents' stuff when they're not looking because I'm that broke right now. It feels so messed up. Has anyone dealt with parents treating you like an ATM? How do you set boundaries without blowing everything up? This whole thing is giving me the ick. You don't owe your parents for raising you. They chose to have the naughty bow chicka wow wow and make a baby. Find a few people to be roommates with or find a cheap room to rent if possible. Am I crazy for not wanting my parents to have access to my bank information? I have been working for 1.5 years and I'm living with my parents. Yesterday, my dad came into my room and asked to see my pay statement so he could see my gross income for taxes. I didn't think anything of it, so I showed him and guess he snooped around and saw what my net pay was. He asked how much money I had in my account and I told him the truth, and of course it was way less than what my net pay was. He asked why it didn't match up and I told him about all the things I bought over the years. And this is where the problem started. Even after I told him the truth, he wanted to see my transactions. I told him no because I think this is a total invasion of my privacy and it's weird for him to check my bank account. He got angry and said that since I live under his roof, I get no privacy. We got into an argument. He thinks that he should have total access to my bank because he thinks what I'm doing something wrong with my money. I think he should trust what I'm saying. My dad got my mom involved and now they're both arguing with me. My dad wants my password to my bank account and I think that's totally unfair. I should be allowed to have some independence. Keep in mind, I don't have access to my card. Every time I want to spend my money, I have to ask permission and then my parents will allow me to use my card. So they literally know what I do with my money. I've never once complained about this ridiculous rule out of respect for them, so I don't understand why they don't have respect for me. I feel overwhelmed. I know I have nothing to hide, so the problem will be solved if I just show them my transactions. But it's the principle of it. I want them to trust me. I want them to give me privacy and independence on what I do or don't do with my money. I want a second opinion. Am I in the wrong? Someone in the comments says, you're 18, you're an adult, it is your bank account, they should have no access to it. Get a new bank account and transfer all your money to it and make sure they have no access to this. Also, do your own taxes. That is the end of today's storytelling videos. I hope you all enjoy. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and check out my streams that I do. I'm probably going to be scheduling one for later tonight after I upload this video, so here's hoping. See you all next time. Bye-bye.